So ESPN ranked Zion as the 19th best player going into this season. I'm imagining a few people disagree with that, which is fine. I tweeted about this, but I felt like my tweets were a little too aggressive, so I deleted them, and we'll talk about it now. I gotta be honest, man, I don't really have a problem with this. I feel like Zion proved how awesome he can be in the 20-something games he played last year for the Pelicans, and I feel like if you just stretch out his numbers to hopefully a full season and him playing 30-something minutes a game, which that's a question, certainly, if he can be healthy. Of course, he had the knee stuff or whatever, and I guess that would be the thing to hold him down. But to me, if Zion's playing and they already lifted the minutes restriction, I don't really see how he's not a top 20 guy. I mean, he's going to average like 28 points a game this season, assuming he's healthy. The guy already averaged 22 on 28 minutes a game, on 15 shots a game. You assume that all of that's going to go up, and I don't think defenses are suddenly going to find some magic trick to slow the guy down. I mean, he's going to bully wing players and a lot of power forwards out of the way. He's faster than almost every center in the league. And he's also a good passer, so we could expect his assists to go up a little bit. I guess the questions on his offense are, how much shooting is there going to be from the perimeter? How much top-of-the-key pick and roll or isolation is there going to be from Zion? But in terms of post-ups and transition and offensive rebounds and setting screens on and off the ball, we'll see if he's setting a lot of screens for Brandon Ingram. That could be interesting. I imagine there's going to be some two-man game with him and J.J. Redick under Stan Van Gundy. I just think Zion is going to be so overwhelming on offense that he'll end up being better than a lot of guys. And we could talk about those guys in a minute. Now, you can say, well, Zion on defense. Look, man, if Nikola Jokic can be a consensus top 10 guy and Karl Anthony Towns can be a consensus top 20-something guy, then I think it's fair to have Zion this high already. And for all this talk about the defense, do you want to know what the Pelicans' defensive rating was when Zion was in the game last season? It was 106.9, which would be 5th in the NBA. So it's not as if the guy was killing him on defense. Also, just in general, I think Zion can be very good on defense still. Assuming that, his lower body is cooperating and all that stuff. Anyway, if we compare Zion to some other players who were ranked below him, number 20, Paul George. A pretty harsh decline for PG, but I can't say I think it's too crazy. I'm fine with saying Zion's better than him. 21, Jamal Murray. So I think Jamal Murray's going to take a big jump this year. A little preview for my most improved player video. I think Jamal Murray is the prime candidate for it. But when I think about Zion averaging 28, 9, and 4 or something on amazing efficiency, yeah, I think that's better than Jamal Murray. Bradley Beal at 22. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to have Zion over Beal. I would put Beal over Jamal Murray and Paul George. I noticed Donovan Mitchell is above Zion at number 18. I actually think I'll put Zion above Donovan Mitchell as well. So there you go. For all the talk of ESPN overrating Zion, I think they're underrating him. How about that one? I also think Towns should be above a lot of these guys. Like, Towns is 23, and I feel like Towns, you can make a case that Towns should be above, let's say, Devin Booker at 17. But I'm trying to stick to Zion here. Would I put Zion above Towns? No, not really. I wouldn't have the guts to go that far. What about Kyrie at 25? Is a healthy Kyrie Irving better than a healthy Zion? Yeah, I think you'd have to put Kyrie above Zion. But some of these other guys like Siakam, Gobert, CJ McCollum. Why is CJ McCollum 27th? What the hell? Ingram, Trae Young, Lowry, John Morant, Jalen, Drew Holiday, De'Aaron Fox, Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart 37. All right, ESPN. I don't agree at all, but I enjoy it. Zion's better than all those guys. Now, is Zion better than Russell Westbrook at number 36? Well, first let me say I don't agree with Westbrook being number 36. I think with the playoffs, I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt that it was the positive test and it was the quad. And what he actually is closer to what he was in the tail end of the Rockets' regular season, which to me is a guy who should be top 20. But yeah, as far as a lot of these guys being behind Zion, I think it's fine. I really do. I feel like, this happens in the NBA every season. It's, Ingram inserted himself into being a top whatever guy last year. Before that, it would have been crazy to put him at number 20 or whatever. And now if you do it, people wouldn't really think it's that nuts. You could have done the same thing with Tatum after his second season. People would have called you crazy. And now it's like, yeah, it's pretty normal. So I think it's fine to give Zion that same treatment. Can I turn this into my Pelicans playoff prediction video? I think they have a chance to definitely make the play-in tournament. You have to get the 10th seed for that. And I guess I have, two big questions. Number one, can Ingram and Zion really play off of each other? As in, can Zion set screens for Ingram? Can they have some sort of handoff plays together? Just something to where they're helping each other out more so than just your turn, my turn sort of thing. And the second thing is, will Steven Adams actually help this team? I like Steven Adams. He's a good player. I think the Pelicans went a little too crazy with already giving him an extension after trading a first-round pick for him when the spacing with him and Zion next to each other could be awkward. I mean, Steven Adams, you would hope, sets a whole bunch of screens and sets them for Bledsoe, Lonzo, Ingram, and Zion. We'll have to see how much pick and roll Zion is running like that. And that could be the way for Steven Adams to open up the floor a bit. But even so, I do fear that at times Adams could just be sort of in the way on offense. Now, defensively, you would think that he can help these guys out. He has looked slower at times just because of random little injury things. So we'll see with him. We'll see if Lonzo can keep up his three-point shooting. And I think we've also got to see if Eric Bledsoe continues being a very good regular season player. I mean, I do think there's a world in which if Bledsoe is being his all-defense self and Steven Adams is still looking as athletic as he can, and then you've got Lonzo who's bringing it defensively, I think at times Lonzo was very good on defense for the Lakers. For the Pelicans, it was a little more up and down. But with those three guys, and Ingram, who's got potential on defense, and Zion, who I think can still be a good defensive player, with Stan Van Gundy, who has been a good defensive coach, maybe the Pelicans could actually surprise some people on that side of the floor. As for the other guys on the roster, I mean, Josh Hart, cool. JJ Redick, they're going to need his spacing. Hopefully he hasn't fallen off too much on defense. Kyra Lewis, I don't know how much of him we're really going to see. Maybe the make it or break it point for him is on defense with Stan Van Gundy. Scouts are optimistic about his shooting. All of his percentages were good in college. And he's supposed to be a downhill pick-and-roll type of point guard, so we'll see with him. But yeah, the main dude is still Zion, and I think he's going to be really, really good. And again, I don't think it's crazy to have him at 19. The other thing, too, when we talk about ranking these guys, it's always shuffling around. I feel like in some ways it's better to do it in tiers, just because it puts it all in better perspective. It puts guys in similar groups, and then the actual number might not matter as much. But, we're NBA fans, and this is what we do. So, anyway, yeah, I think it's fine to have Zion that high.